in New York City with the first day of testimony in Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex crimes trial.
The former girlfriend of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs has broken down in tears in a Manhattan courtroom while giving evidence in his sex trafficking trial. Our North America correspondent Lauren Day has been in court listening to that testimony, and she joins us now. Lauren, g'day. What did Cassie Ventura tell the court?
The Diddy trial is underway. There have been opening statements, and there is now testimony in the case. And the opening statements kind of predictably laid out the prosecution's case and Diddy's defense.
The Diddy trial has captivated the world with shocking revelations, powerful defenses, and emotionally charged testimonies. As one of the most powerful moguls in Hollywood, Sean Diddy Combs has always been known for his larger-than-life persona, his music empire, and his celebrity connections. But behind the glitz and glamour lies a storm that could change everything. Now, the courtroom is where the battle is being fought. This trial isn't just about a man's reputation, it's about the fate of those who've allegedly been abused, under his control. Some are speaking out to defend him, but the accusations coming from others are too graphic to ignore.
This tea time is dedicated to Diddy and his ex-neighbor, I guess you could say. I don't think they still live there, Gloria Estefan. She said that although she was pretty much named in one of these Diddy lawsuits, she said the person that named her is absolutely crazy, because she'd never been to a Diddy freak off. She'd never been to Diddy's house. And she said, as far as she is concerned, Diddy was a good neighbor. Okay, so for her, it was all good in the neighborhood. Let me go ahead and share screen. Hold on one second, guys. No freak offs at my house. Diddy was a nice neighbor. That's what Gloria said. Let's take a listen.
You look fantastic. Love the shoes, love the glasses. You know, I definitely gotta just put it out there. You know, Diddy's on trial. Are you happy that that's like behind you? That you're kind of moved on past like the allegations of, oh, something happened at your house. Like, are you happy to be
behind him? Nothing happened in my house ever.
I love
ever.
That.
So I just hope he gets, you know, in front of this.
Right.
It's finally over for him.
What do you think the end result is going to be? I mean,
who knows?
Right.
Who knows anything?
Perfect.
Thank you.
People are going to be testifying on Monday and Tuesday. Do you hope that your name is not brought up again? Because there is an accuser, and so right now we don't know who's going to be testifying. But
that guy is not well in the head if you look at his history, and he's just throwing everybody in. I mean, Diddy was a neighbor who was always very kind to us, and his mom, spectacular, but we never were in his house or him and ours.
I mean, so. Tony Busby is kind of throwing stuff around, you're saying, or because you said someone's sick in the head. Did you mean Tony Busby?
No, the guy that
the accuser.
Our name, yeah, into the thing. So.
Thank you. Well, you look good, girl. We appreciate your time.
So
Ciao.
As the trial progresses, some, like Gloria Estefan, have publicly defended Diddy. Known for her long-standing friendship with the mogul, Gloria took a firm stance against the disturbing allegations made in court. She was named in one of the lawsuits filed against Diddy, but Gloria has made it crystal clear that she's not involved in any of the alleged freak-off parties. Instead, she describes Diddy as a good neighbor, someone who never crossed any boundaries with her. But can her defense hold up when the testimony from the accuser grows even more outrageous? Gloria insists the accusations are crazy and says the accuser is not well in the head. However, others believe there's more to the story than just a series of unfortunate misunderstandings. The lawsuit that Gloria Estefan was pulled into paints a shocking picture. According to the accuser, he was drugged and taken to a secret party on Star Island in Miami, where he was forced into humiliating, degrading acts. The lawsuit originally included several high-profile names, including Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and LeBron James, but those names were quickly cleared. The accuser later admitted to fabricating parts of the story, but the question remains. Is this simply a misguided attack on Diddy, or is there a darker truth behind these claims?
In New York City with the first day of testimony in Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex crimes trial. After seating a jury of 8 men and 4 women, the prosecution delivered its opening statement, and they came out swinging. Prosecutor Emily Johnson said the public knew Diddy as a larger-than-life business mogul, but behind the scenes, he was forcing women into sex, using violence and drugs to keep them in line. She said Combs had an inner circle that helped him commit sex crimes, drug crimes, other crimes, things like arson and kidnapping. And then came the graphic details from what we now know are called the freak-offs, where Diddy allegedly recorded sexual encounters that he'd arranged between paid escorts and his alleged victims, including his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Now, the feds say Diddy once forced an escort to urinate on Cassie. That came out in court today. When it was the defense's turn, they didn't deny Diddy's temper. They said, yes, he can be violent. They admitted that. Remember, that's not what he's on trial for. They said, yes, he's got anger issues, and his actions might warrant domestic violence charges. It was clever that they said that. But trafficking and racketeering, again, that's what the federal case is about. The defense says those don't apply. And all that freak-off sex, according to the defense, they say it was consensual. They said that Diddy's love of baby oil, and this was actually a quote, they said the love of baby oil was not a federal crime.
Despite the defenses, the prosecution has hit back hard with testimony that is nothing short of disturbing. One of the most shocking claims in the trial is that Diddy allegedly forced an escort to urinate on Cassie Ventura, his ex-girlfriend. These accusations, along with others involving physical abuse, have painted a chilling image of Diddy's private life. The prosecution has presented testimony suggesting that Diddy not only orchestrated these encounters, but also took part in humiliating his victims. As these allegations unfold in court, many are questioning the extent to which Diddy's power and influence may have allowed him to go unchecked for years. The prosecution is not just going after Diddy. They are also focusing on his inner circle. According to their arguments, Diddy's circle of friends, employees, and associates helped facilitate his alleged crimes. From bodyguards to drivers, the prosecution argues that this wasn't just the work of one man. This was an organized operation that involved several individuals who helped Diddy maintain control over his victims. The defense, however, claims that this is all part of a personal lifestyle and that no crimes were committed. As the trial goes on, the question becomes whether the jury will buy into the defense or be convinced by the damning evidence presented by the prosecution.
Caitlin Becker, who has also been all over the story. I want to start with you, Lauren, though, because I am so intrigued by what it must look like and feel like inside that courthouse. With these federal cases, we don't get to see anything, just those very weird, like, cartoonish sketches. What was it like in court? What's it like with Diddy's family there? Apparently he was blowing kisses at the kids. Sort of describe the mood for us.
Yes, Brian, it's wild. Let me tell you, Diddy did appear nervous at first. He asked the judge for a little bit more water, but then you're right. He blew kisses to his mother in the front row. He seemed to give a thumbs up at one point. At another point in time, he was flipping through a Bible, reading a Bible. And if you'll notice, he's wearing these crew neck sweaters, this light color, which I think is pretty smart as a defendant, but he's kind of reminding me of a Menendez brother here, you know? It's really interesting how defendants are dressed. I always make sure to pay attention to that. And additionally, his mother, Janice Combs, she walked into the lobby this morning looking incredibly somber, like she was dressed for a funeral. All black suit, black bag. It sounds like she got the memo here. But we'll get into it, Brian, I'm sure. But there was a lot of things today in court. I could not believe what I was hearing. I was incredibly uncomfortable. And yeah, in the government's opening statement, Emily Johnson actually said that Cassie did choke on the urine of an escort when Diddy forced this escort to allegedly urinate in her mouth. They did say inner circle numerous times, I believe, really trying to amplify the RICO charges. Diddy couldn't have done all of these crimes without his inner circle, right? Without his bodyguard, without his driver, without his assistant. They talked about alleged kidnappings. That one time he kidnapped his assistant to go and try to find Cassie when he thought Cassie was cheating. I mean, it was wild. I feel like I could go on forever, but I won't.
The former girlfriend of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs has broken down in tears in a Manhattan courtroom while giving evidence in his sex trafficking trial. Our North America correspondent Lauren Day has been in court listening to that testimony, and she joins us now. Lauren, g'day. What did Cassie Ventura tell the court?
Well, James, Cassie Ventura is the witness that everyone has been waiting to hear from, and she took the stand just before lunchtime and spoke for the rest of the day. She started her testimony by talking about the beginning of her 11-year relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. She said at the start, she was really in love with him. She found him really charismatic, really charming. They had a lot of fun together. But that over time, she started to see a very different side to the hip-hop mogul. She said she saw a side that was abusive, that was controlling, and that he began to assault her. He kicked her, he punched her, he dragged her, he stomped her. And when she was asked by the prosecution just how frequently he was abusive towards her, she responded, too frequently. She also said that within 6 to 12 months of starting their relationship, he proposed one of these freak-offs, these multi-day drug-fueled sexual encounters involving multiple male escorts. And she said that when he proposed that, my stomach fell. She said she was confused, nervous, but she loved him very much and wanted to make him happy. She said, I didn't feel like I had a choice and I didn't know what no would turn into. And when she was asked what she meant by that, she said that she was really worried about blackmail, for example. He had a number of compromising videos and photographs of her, and she was really worried that he might make those public. She was also worried about physical violence. She said it was always in the back of my mind that I would somehow end up hurt by him. She later broke down in court. As you mentioned, she started crying when she was talking about how these freak-offs made her feel. She said, I felt worthless, like I didn't have anything else to offer. Now, the prosecution is trying to show that these freak-offs are a pattern of abuse and also part of a criminal enterprise, that Sean Combs and his associates used drugs, threats and violence to force women into these encounters. The defence, on the other hand, is trying to paint these encounters as merely adult, consensual sexual encounters, and they say, well, this might not be to everyone's sexual preferences or may not be things that everyone is interested in. They're certainly not criminal. So it'll be really interesting to see their line of questioning when they do cross-examine Cassie Ventura, which could happen as soon as tomorrow.
With the defense focusing on consent and the prosecution accusing Diddy of coercion, the next major hurdle in the trial is Cassie Ventura's testimony. Cassie, who is now pregnant with her third child, has been subpoenaed to testify. Her testimony could provide crucial insight into the nature of her relationship with Diddy, and the jury is likely to be swayed by her emotional state, particularly given her pregnancy. But with Diddy's defense already claiming this is a personal matter involving kinks, will Cassie's words be enough to shift the narrative in favor of the prosecution? As the case continues, Cassie's testimony may be the deciding factor. Gloria Estefan has stood by Diddy throughout the trial, publicly defending him and maintaining that the claims against him are false. But as the testimonies against him pile up, not everyone is convinced. While Gloria's defense of Diddy has been celebrated by some, others are questioning whether her loyalty is blinding her to the gravity of the situation. Is she simply protecting a longtime friend, or is she ignoring the truth? Gloria's statements about the accuser being not well in the head have only fueled the fire for critics who argue that this is not just about a friendship. It's about justice. The public divide is growing wider, and the trial is reaching new heights of drama with every passing day.